keep moving.
It's kinda hard to find love in this day and age. Good guys finish last is the phrase that is praised when all the girls wanna do is lie to me a rage, cause they wanna get mad when the guys know they're being played. I ain't trying to go and say that my life is the best. I know I'm living with my own fair share of regret. The past that I have shows I'm passing the test. They all swept on me, but I'm the one who was being left. The bottle that's in front of me is looking really pretty. What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? I know it's a blank screen. We gonna go ahead and do a little something different here. Obviously, you know, majority of my reactions are music. There are some other, but this one intrigued me. Alex Bale, motherfucker. I followed a lot of your goddamn theories, and this one ain't gonna be any different. Now, however, I grew up on Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I'm still kind of getting over sickness. But yeah, that's where I've been at last a little bit. I've been sick. But here we are. I'm back somewhat. I'm somewhat there. But we checking out Alex Bale, Diary of a Wimpy Kid theory. So if y'all don't know who I am, my name is Lcivtherealrapper. I'm an artist/reactor. I make the music I want to make, and I react to what y'all want me to react to. Which, by the way, I feel like I'm a little too small on this end. Let me bring myself up a little bit. I'm pretty sure y'all can see me perfectly fine. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all can see me fine. Alrighty, so with that being said, I'm trying out new different things. So, without further ado, oh Lord Jesus, it's been way too hot here. It's been way too hot. But anyway, without further ado, if y'all don't know who I am, my name is Lcivtherealrapper. I'm an artist/reactor. I make the music I want to make, and I react to what y'all want me to react to. And obviously, my music has taken a very big hiatus, but I'm working on it. The best I can say. But without further ado, like, comment, subscribe. Let's go ahead and hit that sub button as we're on the road to 5K. Go ahead and hit that sub button. Wait, go ahead and hit that bell next to sub button to be notified when my next video drops. It's been a good minute, don't mind me. But anyway, go ahead and hit that bell next sub button to be notified when my next video drops. And go ahead and comment down below what y'all want me to check out next. But until then, let's get on with it. Diary of a Wimpy Kid theory by Alex Bale. I swear to God, if he ruins my childhood.
There is a single page in the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid book that, at first glance, seems completely normal. But there's something on this page that, once you see it, will forever change the way you look at these books. There's a genuinely
I'm not gonna lie. Complete side note. I'm not gonna lie. It would've been so much cooler if they would've done white on black instead of black on white. It would be a little bit cooler to see that, but like, it's just the way it looks. But at the same time, sorry, side note.
Irving implication here that I don't think anyone has ever talked about before today.
It's that smell.
I knew that door had a lock on it!
Maybe said you're going to have an accident.
Loaded diaper!
Zooey Mama. Hi there.
Oh,
Diary of a
Lord.
Wimpy Kid is a classic children's book series about a narcissistic kid named Greg Heffley who believes one day he'll be famous.
The only reason I agreed to write in this thing is because when I'm rich and famous, I'll have better things to do than answer people's stupid questions all day long.
But
Yep, I think, honestly, I have a lot of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books still to this day. I don't know if I do. I gotta find them if I do, but yeah.
until then,
Last I remember, I think they're still making Diary of a Wimpy Kid books too, but anyway.
he's stuck in middle school dealing with his crazy family and the weird kids at school.
Wanna see my secret freckle?
This theory's
I hated you, Freckly, so much.
not gonna be about Fregley, by the way. I don't think I'm capable of figuring out what's going on with him.
They've gone on to make
Nobody can.
20 books, 4 Rowley spin-offs,
20 books? 20 books? Holy shit. The last thing never mind, I don't have all the books at all. The last one I remember having was The Ugly Truth. I didn't know they made all these books. God damn, okay.
and 7 movie adaptations, and there are no
I didn't know they made the other 3 either. I remember The Long Haul. That's the last one I remember, but I don't remember these 3 at all. Actually, I think I remember seeing a trailer for this one, but I don't remember seeing the other 2. Wow. Wow, I was far more behind than I thought.
signs of them ever slowing down. And the weird thing about this is that not only do these books get a lot more cartoony and unrealistic as they go along, but by book 20, Greg is still in middle school. He never ages. And look, I know this is a thing that happens in a lot of different media about kids in school, but the thing that's
Rick and
interesting
Morty,
about Diary of a Wimpy
Simpsons.
Kid is that the books themselves are constantly acknowledging it. But for now, I'm stuck in middle school with a bunch of morons. To be honest with you, I feel like I've been stuck in middle school forever. I looked in the mirror, but everything looked exactly the same as it always does.
We got kids like me who haven't hit their growth spurt yet, mixed in with gorillas who have to shave twice a day.
From the start, these diaries have been drawing attention to the fact that Greg doesn't age, which makes me feel like there might be some kind of in-universe explanation for it. And look, I promise this is not gonna be another—
If I'm not mistaken, didn't that guy, that main character, the guy that played Greg Heffley, didn't he end up going to prison for some shit? I don't think that should be talked about on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure he went to prison for. I'm not gonna talk about it right now, but yeah.
Their edgy, oh, Greg is actually dead theory. No, I think there's actually a much simpler explanation. These books are not the objective truth. They are diaries written by an egotistical sociopath who is constantly lying to make himself look better. Greg is the—
You know, that does make sense after like 20 books of the same goddamn thing. It feels like it's just like going on a year. Like he said, it feels like it's literally just a diary. It's literally just a diary of like every day or like every week or something like that. Something new always happens.
definition of an
I thought I heard something.
unreliable narrator.
So, for all we know, Greg is aging normally, but for whatever reason, he's just choosing to lie about it in his diaries. That's the most logical in-universe explanation. Or, that's at least what I thought, until I found a very strange detail on page 122 of the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. A page that forever changed the way that I look at these diaries.
On this page, Greg talks about giving his parents the same gifts for Christmas every year. I gave mom and dad their gifts. I get them the same kind of thing every year, but parents eat that stuff up. And then we see a drawing of Greg giving his parents their gifts. Do you see anything wrong with this?
They don't even look happy.
Very closely. Greg believes that his parents eat that stuff up, but in the drawing, his parents are clearly unhappy.
Yo, they don't look happy
With their gifts.
Yo.
The drawing contradicts Greg's opinion, which means Greg couldn't have written this page. Wait a second.
Why would you say
Is
what?
Greg not the author of his diaries?
What? Why would it not be Greg?
Okay, so obviously I know that Jeff Kinney is the real author of these books, and all of this is just fictional. But I'm saying, in the universe of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, what if someone else is writing these diaries pretending to be Greg?
That would make zero sense. That would make zero sense. Like, for starters, why would you want to write on Greg's life a guy who labels himself as a guy who everybody sees as pathetic or loser, and someone who portrays himself as like a never aging middle school superhero compared to everybody else in the sense, who could do better than everyone else, but then he just realistically just screws up a lot of the time. Wait, but then now that I think about it, that wouldn't make no sense. What I said earlier about it could be a diary with like once a week and like a whole year, but then that wouldn't make any sense because like, why would you go from? I believe Dog Days was the one that had the summer. That was the summer one. Or unless you're just in the middle of the school year and then just thinking back on the trips. But if it was like continuously going, why would it? Okay, I'm just getting to my own. Okay, moving on.
Have you ever noticed how the diaries are constantly cutting to other perspectives when Greg isn't around? We've kind of just had to assume that Greg either heard about these things after the fact, or maybe he was just exaggerating, but sometimes they really feel like they're telling us things that Greg wouldn't know. Mom likes to rent these romantic comedies, and she makes Dad watch them with her, but I know Dad is just waiting for the first chance to break away and go back down to the basement. How does Greg know this? I mean, who else but Frank would know what he was secretly thinking about in this moment. This doesn't feel like something he would tell his son about later. In fact,
unless, could it be possible that this is actually going through the life of Frank Heffley? If it's not Greg. Like, do you think it could be, like, Greg rewriting on his life as a child and then running his life as an adult, too? I mean, that could understand how he can know both different... Unless... That can understand how he knows different perspectives. Both perspectives on it. But, like... In
fact, these books are full of moments like this that feel like they're specifically from Greg's dad's perspective. Greg even claims at the start of Third Wheel that he can remember things from when he was in his mother's womb. And the things he remembers do feel kinda accurate, but wouldn't it make way more sense if these were actually Frank's memories from when his wife was pregnant?
That would make a lot of sense.
Is the real author of the diaries. What?
Fuck you, Alex. Fuck you, Alex. I just literally said that. Fuck you, Alex. I just literally said that. Yo, that would make a lot of sense, though. Now thinking about it. Oh, fuck you, Alex. I just literally said that.
What if these are books that Frank is writing based on his son's life for some unknown reason? And it's okay if you're not fully on board yet, because I didn't really take this seriously either until I found something insane.
At the start of Dog Days, we are told that there is a newspaper comic called Lil Cutie that Frank and Greg...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like the little cutie. It sounds like the little cutie shit was like the stupidest thing on a magazine.
Read together every day. And we find out that Lil...
And then I remember growing up reading Dog Days, and I remember still thinking it was stupid.
Cutie is a comic series that was written by a father based on his son. Look at these two drawings on the same page. You can't tell me they aren't trying to frame Frank and Greg in the exact same way as the Lil Cutie author and his son. And that's not even the craziest part, because on the very next page it says, I guess now that the real Lil Cutie is all grown up, his dad's having trouble coming up with new material. His dad's having trouble coming up with new material. Is this not exactly what we've been talking about this whole time? The diaries get cartoonier and Greg never ages because now that his son is grown up, Frank is out of new material and he's forced to just make stuff up. We even find out in Old School that Frank had a very similar childhood to Greg. He also had a best friend like Rowley, a dog.
I think I remember reading Old School. I think I remember reading Old. Hold on a second. Let's go back. Let me go back real quick. Where are we at? 6:17. Okay, so let me go back real quick to where it shows all the books. Hold on. Movie up. I think Old School is right behind him. Hold on. I think I remember seeing about Old School back in the day. Hold on. Let me see if I can get a better. There we go. Yeah, Old School. Now that Okay, yeah, I didn't realize they made 20 books, but I do remember seeing Old School, like, when I was back in high school. I do remember seeing the cover for it. I don't think I ever read it. And I think The Long Haul, I think I also saw that one. I know I saw the movie for it. I'm pretty sure I did. Maybe I just saw the Dog Days one and just thought it was a Long Haul. No, I don't think I saw Long Haul. I think Long Haul had a different Roderick play. A different actor play Roderick. I think so. I think the whole family was different, except for him, of course. But I don't think I ever saw the book. I do remember seeing the Old School book back in school. I do remember seeing that, though. Okay, back to where we were saying.
Annoyed him. So maybe Greg, he also had a best friend like Rowley, a dog, and two brothers that annoyed him. So maybe some of Greg's middle school stories are actually based on Frank's childhood memories.
Greg, we're a lot alike.
Everything here fits perfectly.
Now, if you still don't believe me, then I have one final question for you. A question that's been right in front of our faces this entire time, but we never thought to ask it before now. Why are these books called Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Well, to be fair, I remember one of the books. I don't remember which one it was, but I do remember specifically Greg was talking to his dad about puberty or something like that, and his dad was talking about he didn't hit puberty till late. I think it was like 25 or 26. So in other words, Greg knew he was doomed. And I guess that could be it, because maybe, well, Gregory was wimpy in middle school and high school and everything. Maybe his dad was too. Like, since we're going off this theory of maybe Frank Heffley wrote it, like, maybe it could be that.
Why would Greg, someone who is consistently shown as narcissistic and egotistical, ever refer to himself as Wimpy? Greg.
Well, at the same, again, that also goes with, like, it could be what people perceive him as, maybe, but, like, it could be what people perceive him as, and he wants to think he's different from what people perceive him as, maybe. Maybe.
Has an extremely high opinion of himself. That's like his main thing. But you know who does think Greg is wimpy?
Uh-oh.
His dad.
Dad was pretty mad at me for letting myself get bullied by a kid who was still in kindergarten. When Dad saw it, he said it was a girl bike and I should get rid of it. Dad said there was no way he was getting me a dollhouse. So yes,
Why?
I believe for
Why?
whatever reason, Greg's dad decided to write the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. And just like with Little Cutie, it ended up becoming a huge financial success, leading to a whole series of books and even a handful of movies.
I always figured they'd make a movie about my life, but I didn't think they'd start the story here.
I always figured they'd make a movie about my life.
Who's
This line
they?
implies that these are in-universe movies based on the diaries. And Greg did actually become famous like he always wanted, but what if it's because his father decided to create a best-selling book series about his life?
And that
Then my next question to that is, now that we're going down this rabbit hole, since we're really going down this rabbit hole, how does his son actually live? Like, if it's not the way his dad, if it's not the way Frank Heffley's portraying Greg Heffley as, how does his son actually live? Now that's curious.
is my Diary of a Wimpy Kid theory. Case closed.
Yeah, no.
Yep, I'm pretty sure we...
Alex,
pretty sure we wrapped
I
up
know
everything.
damn well it's not closed. I've watched
I
it
know
for
I
too
always
long.
say that, and then there's like a big surprise plot twist in these videos, but
Yep.
like... This time
You're
we're
about to
done
hit
for
it.
sure.
Nope.
I mean, you can just leave.
Nope.
We're all done.
Nope.
Don't look at the runtime of this video.
Yeah, I already did. There's more.
Okay, so I genuinely wanted to end the theory here and be done with it, but there's a scene in the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie that I can't stop thinking about.
God, I
don't
haven't
even
seen
want
it.
to show it because
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
I promised I wasn't gonna do this, but just take a look for yourself.
He had to eat his lunch on the floor.
I was right. You're not even gonna make it out of there alive. The only chance you have making the yearbook is when they dedicate it to your memory.
Woo! I remember that one. Roderick was a dick. He was an absolute dick.
The only chance you'll have of making the yearbook is if they dedicate it to your memory.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. Could that be what these movies are? Did Frank write these diaries because Greg is dead? Oh,
Ooh,
what
no.
the fuck?
Okay, we're checking
I
out
know.
this
I promised
theory.
I wasn't gonna do another "they were dead the whole time" theory, but I swear this is not your usual edgy, run-of-the-mill Greg's in purgatory theory.
Wait. And sorry, Sirius just died in dream. Oh! Not Ash. Oh, God, my voice. Sorry, y'all. Anyway.
There's something to this, and I know people have already suggested this before, but what I have never seen anyone talk about is the fact that there are so many moments in these movies that talk about Greg like he is dead or going to die.
You'll be dead or homeschooled by the end of the year anyway.
You're not even gonna make it out of there alive.
He will kill you. Literally kill you.
You're dead.
Move over! I'm dying! He'll kill me. You're killing me, you know that?
Guys are dead.
Why don't kill me if she knows we're here?
You're so freaking dead.
I'll die!
You can't call if you're dead.
You can kill me.
She's gonna kill both of us.
We're dead.
Mom would kill us. You are so dead.
Greg, you are so dead!
Goodbye, Gregory. You will always be remembered.
Hey, Karen Brar. Okay.
When they dedicate it to your memory.
Wow. 21. 20. I don't even think those were all from the same movie. I think it was from the first and second movie. But wow. 21. Okay. This just got real interesting. Hi, TikTok.
Like, I'm not crazy, right? That's a weird amount of references to Greg's death.
And remember, these are the same movies that decided to unambiguously tell us that Greg is famous enough to get a movie made about him.
I always figured they'd make a movie about my life.
Maybe they're also telling us the reason why, and these are just actors portraying someone who tragically passed away.
Yeah, no, okay, so it was all, yeah, he was completely different too. Yeah, the whole family in the Long Haul movie was completely different. I didn't want to bother watching it because all I knew was him playing Greg Heffley. He looks, no. Okay, moving on.
And it's not just the movies either. In Dog Days, when Greg is talking about reading in school, he says this very interesting line. I'm not really sure what makes a book a classic to begin with, but I think it has to be at least 50 years old, and some person or animal has to die at the end. And then later on, when he has to read Charlotte's Web, he says, just from looking at the cover, I guarantee either the girl or the pig doesn't make it to the end of the book.
That's wild. That's really wild. Damn.
Look,
That's a
I
wild
know
statement.
I might be going off the rails here, but wouldn't it be so tragically ironic if Greg actually did become as famous as he wanted, but it was only because of his death?
Which, again, now that makes sense with my earlier question of what happens to Frank's actual son. Like, if Frank was portraying Greg Heffley, instead of Frank Heffley portraying on Greg, through Frank Heffley's life. Wait, I was going somewhere with that. Damn it, Alex. See, this is what happens when I watch. Alex Bale theories on my own. Like, my brain gets confuzzled, and I start thinking too much, and I start trying to figure out where the hell I'm going with everything. And yeah, great.
Figured they'd make a movie about my life, but I didn't think they'd start the story here.
That's why they adapted the diaries into movies. That's why he's always been stuck in middle school. And that is the real reason why his father decided to write a book series about him, to keep his memory alive.
Okay, that could be another interesting theory, but at the same time, that would also bring up that also tie in, but it wouldn't be about his life then, because he wouldn't know what he goes through in middle school unless Greg tells him, and judging by the books, Greg doesn't really talk to his dad much, so it wouldn't really portray his life, it would just portray his dad's life, but using his son as the cover because his son passed.
And look, it's okay if you're not fully on board yet, because I've still got some really big evidence. But before we get into that, I want to take a look at how I think the real Greg Heffley might have died. And just a warning, this will probably sound like a lot of random speculation at first, but I promise it'll all come together in the end.
What fire?
Going back to the movie that told us about Greg's fame and possible death, there's a scene where Roderick tells Greg and Rowley a scary story about a nearby forest called Devil Worshipper Woods.
There used to be this house. They had to tear it down because what happened there was so terrible. 2 kids who were, I don't know, maybe in middle school. They trick-or-treated that house on Halloween night. But the house was full of devil worshippers.
I remember
Roderick
this scene.
tells them about a house that abducted children and cooked them in an oven, but that ultimately led to an accidental fire that burned down the house with everyone inside.
But they forgot to turn off the ovens, so the house burned down with everyone in it.
Now, this is obviously just a story Roderick is making up to scare Greg. They even go to the woods later and only see Fregley.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. If that ever happened with me and I just went to the woods and I seen Fregley, hell no, I'll be running out that shit real quick. Fregley one weird ass motherfucker. I swear to God, he one weird ass motherfucker. And people call me weird. Nah, he's weird.
Guys?
But what if
Come from the County Mountain, Charlie. Charlie.
Guys?
But what if there's a nugget of truth to this story? Because later, in Roderick Rules, we briefly see a newspaper that seems to be talking about some kind of fire. And in the books, there are several references to house fires, including an instance where Greg actually accidentally causes one in their home.
I mean, that happens to a lot of people. That happens, no, I'm not gonna lie, that happens to a lot of people. Sorry, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm just trying to do something real quick. Hold on. I will keep the continue going. I promise you I'm paying attention. I just need to get this done real quick.
There's also this insane deleted scene from the third movie where Manny ominously talks about an accident.
You threw Tingy away.
Well,
Oh, not Tingy, no, the little string ball of yarn, whatever the hell you want to calling it Tingy. Lord Jesus.
it was an accident.
Tingy says you are going to have an accident.
Yeah, I see why they deleted that scene.
That wasn't an actual scene though? I mean, granted, again, I haven't seen the movie in many years, but honestly, I didn't remember that scene either. But like, damn. That would have made a movie a little bit more interesting keeping that scene in.
Are a lot of weird references to some kind of accident or house fire throughout the franchise. What if these are hints about how Greg actually died? But if so, when and how did this happen? Well, here's my theory. In Roderick Rules, Roderick throws a party when their parents and Manny go out of town.
Yep, I remember that.
Anybody over this weekend?
He tells Greg that he can join the party, but ends up locking him in the basement instead.
We need chairs from the basement.
Roderick, help! The door's closed!
Yeah, and it's staying closed. I don't need a middle schooler ruining my party.
Roderick!
Now, in the movie, Greg is able to escape and join the party, but in the books, Greg is trapped there all night, and he says that it was so cold that he practically froze to death.
I remember that difference. It's just he was able to get. I guess for PG purposes, they didn't leave him in the basement, but I remember in the book he was left in the basement the whole night.
But the next day he gets out and they quickly clean up before their parents come home. They even have to replace one of their doors, but they do finish in time.
See? Told you it'd work.
But look at what the diary says about their parents' reactions when they first get home. Mom and Dad's car rolled into the driveway right when we were tightening the last screw. You could tell they were pretty relieved the house hadn't burned down when they were away. Interesting. Another very specific reference to an accidental house fire. Again, that's...
So, now I'm curious, I don't remember, like I say, it's been years since I've seen or read the books or heard about the movie. That specific one he was referencing before about Greg burning the house down one time. If anybody knows. Was that before or after? No, this was Roderick Rules. I don't remember them mentioning anything about in the first two books. I think the house fire was actually after Roderick Rules, because I don't remember them mentioning anything about it.
Weird, but obviously there was no actual fire here. I mean, in every version of the story, there's a crazy party, and Greg gets trapped in the basement, but the house never burns down. But what if it did? Remember, this diary, and by extension the movies based on them, are unreliable narrators, possibly written by a grieving father who wants to keep the memory of his son alive. So we don't know for sure what actually happened when Greg was locked in that basement all night. The basement that Frank has warned them to stay out of. The basement that Greg was practically freezing to death in with...
It wasn't the basement where he had his World War II or war stuff going on in there. Like he made a little... Wasn't it the basement for that? Because he had nowhere else to really go? Or am I thinking of something else? I might be... No, I think that was... I think that was the basement. Where he had his war stuff down there. Like he had a little table. But at the same time, I also could be confusing it with the Lego movie. Don't mind me, but like... I'm pretty sure.
No source of warmth. Except That's not entirely true, because we also know that the basement is the house's furnace room. So what if Greg tried to get warmer by messing with the furnace, but instead he ended up accidentally starting a deadly house fire? Yes, I believe that Greg never actually left that basement, and everything after this...
Damn, so many bugs outside. Well, of course it's Florida, but anyway, go back to this.
Is accidentally starting a deadly house fire. Yes, I believe that Greg never actually left that basement, and everything after this page is a complete and total lie.
Okay, that's a big claim, I know. And I did warn you, this would sound like a lot of random speculation, but I do actually have the evidence to back it up.
What evidence, though? Like, at that point, hold on a second. At that point, there was literally only 2 movies. Well, no, not 2 books. Roger Rules, the second book. What evidence do you have? Because I don't remember anything regarding a house fire or any evidence that could suggest it within the first 2 books. I don't remember it.
To start off, remember that newspaper that mentioned a fire? Well,
yes.
Greg gets it as he's cleaning up the party.
Oh.
And it meant...
Why is... Oh, trusting parents of possible kids? Okay.
Mentions the fire happening at 6 a.m. when Greg still would have been freezing in the basement. That's it.
In the book. Okay, because I'm sitting in the movie, I'm like, it's daylight, and he's getting the page now, but okay.
As he's cleaning
That's
up the
understandable.
party. And it mentions the fire happening at 6 a.m. when Greg still would have been freezing in the basement. And also, look at what happens immediately after.
Sound like a wild, pretty pride. I think some girls in show, but I remember the picture, yep. 2 a.m., but that's when I give spend the night in one of the spare beds, even though there's no bed practically frozen. Okay.
After this page in the movie.
You are in so much trouble.
She's gonna kill both of us.
Greg and Roderick are unambiguously depicted as dead.
Okay, so we're mixing the movie adaptation with the book. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense now.
This theory also explains why a lot of the death references also include Roderick.
She's gonna kill both of us.
We're dead.
Mom.
Yeah, because then he'll be there with the... But at the same time, wouldn't it mention about how there was a lot more people with the party and well, no, the fire started around 6 a.m., so everybody was gone by then. Okay, never mind.
Would kill us, and I am a dead man.
Since he would likely be a victim of the fire as well.
So the house burned down with everyone in it.
Frank even describes the smell of Roderick's room as unidentifiable.
What is that smell? I can't even identify it.
But the real reason why I think this fire theory...
Well, I mean, if you can't even identify it, then it wouldn't be smoke. It wouldn't be fire, because that's easy to identify.
...theory is so compelling is because of the very strange way that Frank starts to act when he gets home. Yes, that is correct. I am finally going to talk about the thing that has been all over TikTok for the past year. The movie's depiction of Frank.
Yes! Huh? I've never heard anything about this. Huh? What? I've never heard anything about this. About the what? Hold on. Wait. Go back.
When he gets home. Yes, that is correct. I am finally going to talk about the thing that has been all over TikTok for the past year. The movie's depiction of Frank.
Guess who's
I've never knew anything about that.
the laugher now? Me! I'm the laugher! Ah! I knew that door had a lock on it, and everybody was trying to make me feel like I was losing my mind!
That makes a lot of sense now, seeing how they're calling him a psychopath and all that, and yeah, that makes a lot more sense now. Okay, that does. Hi, TikTok.
I am far from the first person to notice this, but in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies, Frank acts legitimately insane. To the point where it's kind of become a meme to joke about him being this serial killer guy that might have killed his family.
Hey, how about then, no video games and no television for the rest of the summer?
Dad, no!
I stopped laughing. I stopped.
Damn. And not one of those wires broke? Not one of those wires broke? It's got the perfectly fine. Not one of them broke?
Guess who's the laugher now? Me! I'm the laugher! I'm the laughingest laugher that ever laughed!
But the thing that's
he
interesting
was
to
crazy
me
in
that
the
I haven't
movie.
seen anyone talk about is that Frank doesn't really start to act like this until after the Roderick Rules party, when he becomes extremely paranoid and starts to believe that something's wrong with the house.
So, who came over this weekend?
What?
Hey! What the?
You guys got something you want to tell me?
What was General Grant doing on the thermostat?
He acts this way in the books too, but in the movies, he
Sure will be on by the party. Hey, didn't this door used to lock? Okay.
really acts like he's losing his sanity
Okay.
over the little inconsistencies in the house.
I knew that door had a lock on it! And everybody was trying to make me feel like I was losing my mind!
This roller skating kid is
Honestly, though, the actor that played Frank Heffley did a really good job. He really did.
really good. Don't you think that is good?
What if
Hold on one second. Hold on. Let me check something. I'm gonna be mad as hell if I've been wasting an hour for no fucking reason. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. You're about to hear me go double for a minute. I'm just checking something. Okay.
what we're actually seeing is Frank?
Okay. I just wanted to test and see and make sure if I just wanted. You see, hear me go double for a second, but I just want to test. I just want to test everything and make sure it was still good. Even though I should have done that before the video even started. But hey, I'm special. Yeah.
Frank having some kind of mental breakdown because he couldn't handle the reality of coming home to find his house had burned down with both of his children inside.
What is that smell?
That does make sense.
Can't even
I wouldn't say it's survivor's guilt, but well, kind of no. I mean, kind of survivor's guilt, but kind of not. But at the same time, because he wasn't a part of it. But like knowing he left and came back and they were gone, that could be a sign of survivor's guilt because he should have taken him with him or something like that, or maybe it should have been him instead of them.
Identify.
I think that Frank would be incapable of accepting this horrible truth, so instead, he's staying in denial and imagining that the fire never actually happened and that his children are still alive.
Deny, deny, deny.
Got it. Deny, deny, deny.
The reason why Frank is fixating on the little differences in his house, like the bathroom lock being different, is because in reality, he's actually already moved into an entirely new home after the fire. But he'd rather concoct a whole elaborate story about his children replacing the door than accept the truth.
I knew that door had a lock on it!
Deny, deny, deny.
Also, remember that terrifying Manny deleted scene?
Tingy says you are going to have an accident.
That could have been the accident.
This scene makes no sense in the context of this movie, but with this theory, it just fits so perfectly.
Yeah,
this is
that
a
could have
moment
been
of
the
truth sneaking into
accident.
Frank's delusions. His subconscious is telling him about the accident, but he is completely unable to accept it.
The house burned down with everyone in it. Deny, deny, deny.
And I think that that is the real reason why Frank decided to create a diary pretending to be his son, Greg, so that he could continue to remain in denial about his death forever. I told you it would all click together. It's possible Greg did actually have his own diary at some point, and now Frank is just continuing it. But either way, I think that the books that we are reading are a strange denial fantasy that Frank is writing to cope with his son's death. This also gives a whole new meaning to why Frank is so protective over the basement in these books. The basement is where Frank works on his civil
Okay, see, I knew it was some kind of war. I know I said World War, but I knew it was some kind of war. I thought like it was one war. Civil War seems fitting, but that also again now that makes a lot more sense with the basement and everything. Okay.
Civil War dioramas, and he's really strict about not wanting anyone to go down there. But maybe even in his fantasy, Frank actually wants to keep his kids away from the basement that caused all of this.
Ow! Sorry.
There's also this moment at the end of the Roderick Rules movie where Frank realizes his entire family is no longer sitting with him.
This roller skating kid is really good. Don't you think that he's really good?
Wait, what did he say?
Don't you think that he's really good?
Y'all heard it too, right? Like it wasn't just me. Y'all heard it too, right? Wait. Did he really just say that? Wait a second. Y'all gotta listen. Y'all gotta listen again. No. Go back. Y'all gotta listen to it again. Just to make sure I'm not going crazy. Y'all gotta listen to it, right?
There's also this moment at the end of the Roderick Rules movie where Frank realizes his entire family is no longer sitting with him.
This roller skating kid is really good. Don't you think that he's really good?
What? Y'all heard it too. Like it wasn't just me. Y'all heard it too, right? Oh my lord.
And people like to joke about how Frank is realizing his entire family is dead or whatever, which doesn't exactly line up with my fire theory since Susan and Manny would still be alive. But if Frank...
Well, it does line up with the movie theory because they went with him. They weren't... It wasn't just those... It was just those two at home.
With my fire theory since Susan and Manny would still be alive. But if Frank has turned the loss of their children into a fictional best-selling franchise for money, then I could totally see Susan divorcing him and taking Manny. I mean, she was very much depicted as someone who believes in honesty.
You lied to me, and you know how I feel about that.
So I think this scene actually works really well with this theory.
Which, by the way, I don't remember what happened after that scene. I don't remember what caused that scene to happen. I know they're at the play, but I don't remember what happened.
Don't you think that
You're going to have an accident.
Whether or not you agree with every part of this theory, you have to admit there's a lot of really compelling connections here, and it offers us a very tragic new way to read these books. Nothing of what we see in these diaries is the full truth. It's a combination of both Frank's true memories of his son and fictional ones he's created to keep the lie going. We have to think of these books as more than just Frank and Greg. They're a weird amalgamation of them both. In a sense, these books are the story of Freg.
Not Fregley. Do not bring up a Fregley theory. So help me God, Alex Bale. Do not bring up a Fregley theory. Do not do it. Do not do it. Do not do it. Please don't do it. And I swear to God, if you bring up a Fregley theory and you say that Freg was the dad as a child, I'm going to flip my shit on you. I'm going to do it. Don't do it, Alex. Please don't do it. Please, I'm begging you, don't do it. Please. Don't ruin this shit. You already ruined it enough.
Wait a second. Oh, what the fuck?
Fregley has never felt like a real person. We never actually learn anything about him beyond the fact that he is this weird, inhuman, freaky kid who's always around.
Wanna see my secret freckle?
I'll sign it, Greg Heffley, if you let me look at your infection.
What if that's because he was never actually real? He was always something made up for the diary. What if Fregley is actually a symbolic representation of both Frank and Greg? You have to...
What? No. I would understand if you said it was like a symbolic representation of their thoughts or like their ideas that they have, but as a person mixed together, no.
Admit that their canon full names, Franklin and Gregory, sound a whole lot like Fregley when combined. Because
I hate you, Alex Bale. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. I hate you so much, Alex Bale. I hate you so much. Like, your theories are so good and stupid at the same time. No.
Because he is a representation of the dark truth that Greg is actually dead and Frank is pretending to be him. It's why Fregley is depicted as this weird kind of disgusting kid, because deep down, Frank is disgusted with himself for what he is doing, and this disgust and shame manifests in the diaries as Fregley. It's why in both the books and the movies, Greg is mistaken for Fregley.
Holly. Oh, hi, Fregley. She thinks I'm Fregley?
Why does Fregley have a secret language?
I never caught on to that one. I never caught on to that one. Wow. I never caught on to that one.
Because Greg has a secret language. Why does Fregley want to show his secret freckle? Maybe because Greg also recently discovered a new freckle. And what does Fregley do in the town talent show? He's a ventriloquist speaking for his puppet.
Say hello to the boys and girls, Freggers. Hello, boys and girls.
Just like the way Frank speaks for Greg. And finally, remember the Devil Worshipper Wood story?
No.
This was the story that first hinted about Greg's accidental house fire. What does Greg actually find when he goes there?
Fregley.
Guys?
Fregley. Because Fregley represents the dark truth in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and that is my theory. Thank you very much.
How does
Zooey Mama.
No, Zooey Mama. No. We cannot end it like this. No, don't do. You're ending it like this, motherfucker.
And that's the last time I'll ever do a "they were dead the whole time" theory ever again. No more.
You're lying.
Right?
You're lying.
We'll be dead at homeschool by the end of the year anyway.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Fregley is no Fregley, no.
I'll die.
You can't call.
Man.
You're dead.
We're dead.
Fucking hell. Some bullshit. That was a pretty good theory, though. I'll give it that. But that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. But that was a pretty good theory. I can't even lie.
Oh wait, what about the Rowley Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid spin-offs? How do they fit into all this? Let me see. Just give me a second. Let me reread all these books real quick. Wait, no fucking way. Rowley's dad was the one who first called him Awesome Friendly Kid. Is Rowley's dad also writing a diary pretending to be his son? Did he fucking steal Frank's idea?
Nope, I'm done. I'm out.
The way that I've been feeling is more than just pretending. My mind is slowly wrecking the thoughts that had us ending. Deep down inside of my head once again, feeling my heart slowly die.